Hi, this is Michelle Isenberg Christensen with WorkingWithPower.com. I want to introduce you to two of the elements of power that are related to your identity, how you know who you are. And the two elements on the masculine side are self-reliance, and on the feminine side we have connection. So self-reliance is that ability to stand on your own 2 feet. This is you knowing who you are by what you can achieve on your own, knowing where you stand, your opinions, your skills, your qualities. And then connection is knowing sort of your place in connection to the rest of the universe, your connection to other people. Whose mom are you? Whose daughter are you? Whose brother or sister? Who are your friends? Where do you belong? Are you part of a company? And then in a larger sense, feeling connected with nature, with the cosmos itself, or with something larger than yourself that you perceive to be divine. Or even, as a member of the community in which you live, or a community of people with a particular interest or disease, or having experienced something similarly. So I think this is where our football fandom finds its roots. Being a Hawks fan is a way of belonging pretty deeply to a community for many people. So connection and self-reliance are two of the ways that we know who we are. And they're both just beautiful ways to establish your identity. However, things can go funky with either of them. So as we know, a strength overused can become a liability. When we go too far into self-reliance, we get into something that I think is an epidemic in our culture, thinking we have to prove ourselves, have to earn our keep, have to constantly strive to improve to be good enough. And we see this a lot in people with bosses, people who are employed or people who are in a competitive environment as entrepreneurs, always trying to know who we are by our latest accomplishment and going, and losing sight of a place of rest where we can rest into knowing who we are according to our connection to our own bodies, our connection to our emotions, our intuition, something larger than ourselves, and the people who care about us. Because that kind of connection doesn't rest on our action, and that's why it's very nourishing. And then self-reliance, understanding who we are as separate from other people, is really helpful if we've gotten into distorted connection. So what does that look like? Well, you're in distorted connection if you tend to take a poll before you make a decision, if you only know who you are by your roles, by who needs you. If you find yourself compulsively meeting other people's needs at the expense of your own, or not setting limits or boundaries on other people's behavior in a way that is costly to you, you may be in distorted connection. And the beauty of the 12 Elements of Power model is that it shows you a way out simply by turning up the volume on the counterpart. So if you're in distorted self-reliance, activating a little more connection is helpful. Likewise, if you're in distorted connection, activating a little more self-reliance really does the trick. So to activate self-reliance, you might say no. Just practice that as a habit. Narrow down your commitments to other people. Speak your opinion more often. State your truth. Affirm your best qualities and really recognize and acknowledge your latest accomplishments and accomplishments from long ago. To activate more connection, really affirm and give space for the ways you know yourself through connection. Take a walk outside. Ask your gut a question. Help make a decision that your rational mind might not be able to justify, and take action on it. Affirm your intuition by following it. It's sort of a use it or lose it proposition, and the more you use it, the more it will guide you. To activate connection, you can also just drink in other people's love for you. So many of my clients, when they start paying attention to the ways other people admire, appreciate, and care for them, it seems that the love around them multiplies. But in fact, they're just turning up their own awareness of what was there the whole time. So those are a few ways you can activate self-reliance and connection. And we can talk about a lot more on www.workingwithpower.com or in the programs that I lead. Be well.